I need that shit
passionate
injected
thing
straight
in his
into my
life.
veins. I have nothing. I have no passion for anything else. So if people just decide that they don't want me to cast, I'm done. I'm over it.
You had a good run in life.
I really did.
Is that your not so subtle play to make sure that people always
That's on you
support
guys
you
at
in
that
casting?
Oh, that was dark.
You guys are set up into a real dark situation.
Also,
at this point,
Alan says he was afraid because Navi fans hated on me. It's I'm okay with that if I'm honest. That's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, if you had secret fans hating on you, you're like, oh shit, I got to deal with that forever.
There's at least 300 of
Navi
those.
games, it's one in every 300 games you cast, you have to worry about the Navi fans coming back
Now that
at you.
Dendy's not on there, there's 8 people that send me hate mail, but beginning of the game, nice. Another fissure block onto Ferrari, but Koikfa has the Crypt Swarm leveled up level 1, so not really going to be able to take advantage of that with the Spirit Siphon early on.
Yeah, is that expected? Right? Oh, Faith Beyond. He has Anchor Smash first, so I'm not sure what he can't crack and shell off these napalm stacks, so he's just kind of dead. You dead, boy.
This is okay. They've done this 3 times now, where Faith Beyond has had a very disadvantageous matchup to the enemy offlaner.
Yeah.
And it shows. And Boxy has been on fire.
They
today.
also picked the Tidehunter into the Batrider.
Yeah.
So, the Batrider was picked up when there was the potential tiny AA. They wanted to make sure they had an offlaner that could win a 1v1 because of an aggressive tri-lane coming out, potentially from eHome. They get exactly that, and
he's dead again.
They get a situation where they're gonna kill him again.
Right.
Here,
I don't know what Faith Beyond was doing there, but he let himself get sticky 4 times.
Yeah,
and
he's good old Kraken Shell will save me.
He uses TP, by the way, so he's just...
Yeah,
his game is just done.
Long walk.
This reminds me of EG when S4 just TP'd up to top lane against secret tri-lane and he just died.
Toss back the Oracle, good setup. Insania turns around, tries to get as much damage onto Innocence as he can, but it's still not enough for Mickey to commit with the spin. He would have taken too much physical damage anyway, so yeah. Picture of Faith Beyond walking back the...
Dude, that guy...
Our props production, that was well played.
That's a real, this is my life now face. Oh my lord. He's not having it, dude. He's still not there. He's actually slower than the creep wave.
The creep wave is ahead of him. The
Oh
range
my
creep
God.
the range creep's out of the picture now. Nice block in. Ferrari is actually going to just TP straight over to the tier 1 because he knows Taiga does not
These
have a
rotations of
secondary
Taiga,
stun.
though.
Yeah, he's really getting it right now.
And the fissures.
I mean, this is really one of those... I guess this is one of those dream scenarios. I mean, I wouldn't like trying to gank for... I like ganking for Death Prophet, but I don't like trying to gank a Medusa.
Yeah.
With an Earthshaker, because it just feels like you just never
You can
have
do it
enough
when
damage.
the Juica hits 6. Or when the DP hits 6.
Yeah, when you
Then
finally
it's
have
no
exorcism. Toss over to the side, gets him away from the spin, but there's going to be Tiger right there, and it looks like Mickey's fast enough to be able to catch up. A cute little play from our Tiny. We'll see whether or not Neverend's going to be in trouble next, as they don't have another Fisher, and the spin's not up right now, but they're still going to try and go for the kill. And looks like Mickey is doling it out pretty heavily to Neverend. Won't commit, though.
Oh, the boys are on him, man. Taiga wanted to go for the chase and then the mango pop, but the boys are on him. They're on the cake. Look at these men in uniform.
March, march, march.
I salute you. Look at these guys. They're still on it.
All right,
That's loyalty.
They finally lost. They finally lost vision. They're going to recorrect to the tier 1.
And I always talk about hitting the mid tower.
Oh, the mid tier 1 tower. They listen to your cast, William.
Boys are beasts for sure.
Faith Beyond in trouble again. I think they thought that somehow this matchup is fine because of Kraken Shell, but let me tell you, Blitz, it's not. Because if you look at the level 1 Kraken Shell, and you look at the damage threshold, if you're saying to yourself, it's okay for me to take X amount of damage to finally take that off that sticky napalm, it's not. It's not okay. Koifa's in trouble here. Battling out, Fairy Fire does manage to get another Spirit Siphon. You're out of mana on Ferrari 430, but it looks like he's being sandwiched in as Innocence picked up the Haste Rune. He's going to be able to get some slowdown here onto Taiga. Not quite enough for the Cold Feet to be able to latch, but he will just keep slowing him down, keep on laying in those right clicks. Boxy's on the high ground here. They're going to toss him over. Taiga's already gotten a bottle hit over from Boxy. Maybe that's enough to keep him alive. Taiga now throws down the Fisher right as he gets in tier 1 tower range. Fights him a little bit. Not going to win the man fight. Oh, he will. He wins the man fight off of the bottle and stick charges. No stick charges. Just bottle and tango, I guess. Well played by Boxy with the bottle.
Yeah, and to your point to this one-on-one matchup, like I'm really surprised that they thought that this was going to go okay. I mean, I guess the Tide can recover. Like that's the good news about this hero, but this is not an easy life.
No,
As,
not at all.
I mean, he just gets bullied at every turn. Plus, the worst part of it is like you get sticky like 3 times, you have to back out anyways. He just doesn't have to hit you,
Yeah.
and he doesn't have to trigger your Kraken Shell. Like he can just passively win the lane like that. There's like multiple ways this Batrider just kind of dumps on you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You see
I think for the
replay
pace
again
of the game
Taiga,
overall is
just
okay though.
Great turn by him onto Innocence. Good read. And great bottling from
Plus
Boxy.
the AA walked forward like half an inch because he thought that I think Taiga was going to run into the tree line, so
Yeah.
he had no chance of getting an extra hit off on top of that.
Yeah. The threshold reset timer is only 6 seconds. And sticky napalm lasts for how long? I mean, either way, he could just keep on sticky napalming you. So, yeah, he could just not hit you for 6 seconds. Or, again, at level 1, Kraken Shell is a damage threshold of 600 damage. Tide only has
look at
like
this.
650 damage or HP at level 1.
He doesn't do very good against Jug either, because Jug just spins on top of you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And his ulti is fantastic versus you as well as Boxy. He's going to try to force Innocence to use that Shrine, I think. He's just kind of running circles around him, and that'll force the TP from the Tiny, and he does get the Shrine usage.
Okay, can he toss him over to the Tide? He does manage to get that much, but it looks like Boxy... Oh, he ran out of Firefly, so he's going to go for the TP out. Smart read by Boxy. He gets away. Well done.
There's also a bounty rune there.
Yeah.
I don't know if he knows about that, but there's just like a casual...
6.5 minute bounty rune.
The downside of it is that...
Oh, picks it up at 6:32.
What hurts about this is the fact that he used a Shrine, but they popped the ulti mid, Quakefa, trying to do damage to this tower, and that's why Taiga's also coming in, because he's anticipating some movement from eHome. Mission Q comes mid.
See top lane, Boxy's in trouble. The cold feet is not gonna actually latch him. It was so close there. It was just about to go in.
Dude, this is creating a lot of space for Mickey.
Yeah, it
There's
is.
literally no one at bottom lane, and they're getting their mid lane taken out, and that's why the big bad Tidehunter's going to come in.
Trying to commit
get
right now to
something.
catch up to Koifa, but
This is just making Mickey's game even better.
yeah. Neverend does not have his ultimate right now, so if all of the heroes rotate out of his lane, fortunately he managed to juke out Boxy for a little bit. Does manage to keep the sticky napalm stacks, and now he's going to Firefly over to Neverend. He's in big trouble. They do have the Ancient Apparition who's coming over. Taiga's going to be able to block him in once again. Taiga, right place, right time. Always to be able to find these pickups.
Yeah, and it doesn't get any... It's not better for Wraith King.
Yeah.
As
now
bottom
we're going
lane.
to see that exactly what you were talking about. The spin on Faith Beyond, the extra damage from the Oracle. Just
Pop
so
the
much
ulti?
magic damage burst. And thinking about going for that Omni Slash, will be able to close rank with Jin Q. Tries to get to the creep wave.
This
but
is not a lane that
not in time.
really anybody wanted to be in when he had his ulti there.
No.
And that was also the TP that was committed from the Tidehunter. So now Faith Beyond has to walk back to wherever he's going. He's
Mhm.
1 in 4. He's got to walk back everywhere he goes. Because remember, he TP'd top to save that tower.
Yeah.
Or mid to save that tower. And I'm okay with that move, but effectively, like, he's just putting himself into, like, a bigger hole every time he makes a move like that.
Right. A plus side for eHome, William.
Yes.
Look at the Medusa. When she fires her multi-shot, she gets that pretty projectile shot on every single one of the hits.
Dope.
That's an upside you can really focus on, you know?
I mean, actual upside, though, is that she should just be able to farm out
Yeah.
this triangle area. It's like these two...
I
It's
mean,
like
it's
half of a triangle.
It's a good Dusa game, right?
Yeah.
You have a bunch of heroes that are pretty dependent on being able to burst a hero down. The only hero that's really, really good against Batrider or Medusa is Batrider, right?
So they're going to take this mid tower. Yeah, I think Bat's sick against the Medusa.
But Juggernaut and Death Prophet, not as good, right?
I mean, I think DP's alright because she gets on top of that as Taiga's just going to come in here and
Block
get
him
the
out.
stun.
Boxy does have the lasso. Not going to go for the kill, though, because the rotation from Faith Beyond managed to cut him with the Ravage. Boxy from the low ground also getting hit by the Tiny. Now they're going to try and catch up with Taiga here. There is, I'm not sure where the Wraith King's going. You can cut him off, my dude. Cut him off. Get him.
And it starts early on as they go for the 5-man. This time, though, I accept it because that would have been a kill on your Deuce otherwise.
Yeah.
But that did commit the Ravage, and it just continues to make Mickey's game a lot better overall.
Mickey is having a brilliant game. 5,000 net worth already.
Anytime anybody comes to his lane, they die.
Yeah.
And half the time, nobody's in his lane. So it's just like a treat when somebody comes tries to do something about him.
And a Juggernaut who's ahead, I mean, he can get a really fast Manta Diffusal. Is that the build you go this game?
Yeah, for sure. It's really nice against the Dusa.
Yeah. So that like Juggernaut, who I feel is not an effective hero against Medusa, actually turns into
secure the bounty runes here as
they're gonna push back or try and push back. Jin Q tries to go for the dive, does manage to pick up that bounty rune. So
okay,
much like Taiga, who was willing to suicide earlier for it.
That's a level 4 tiny.
Yeah, what do you care about your life? He's already alive.
He actually is.
He really is.
He just straight up he pops back up, no problem. Pops that tome.
He needed to go back to base for the tome anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys fell right into his trap.
Morons.
You gave him the experience he needed. You fools. Oh, look at this.
The scary part though is, it's really just Mickey having the easiest time of all.
Yeah.
He is so far ahead of anybody, and that has just been because eHome has largely avoided him like the plague in like that time where they just kind of donated their lives. And he's got ulti again at bottom too, so Faith Beyond can't even play aggressively on him.
Yeah. The heat map literally has had to go nowhere.
Yeah, it's actually sick. This is the dream safe laner game. Plus, they took the safe lane tower before they take this top tower, and Taiga got ulti. Should go down here as Never End. He's gonna pop the boys.
They're still gonna try and catch him. Boxy is gonna go for Innocence. Doesn't really want to go for Never End here. Just wants to kill the support, get him down into the river. Doesn't quite make it though. Jin Q.
Oh, Never End almost.
Oh, yeah, that would have been a bad place to die and have your revive.
I actually thought that Mickey was going to TP up there too, and they take the fight.
Yeah.
Even with the Wraith King ulti, I think you probably win that fight because Ferrari doesn't want to TP up there. Like, I don't think the Dusa can really do anything. Like, he might pick up a level of his ulti now, but he didn't have it before then. And it's not like she has any items to begin with. She just picked up the Yasha as well.
They're going to smoke up to top. Now Mickey's going to show up. So your idea is still...
Yeah.
Alliance is still going to follow through on that. But it's going to be deep smoke. They're actually not going to try and protect their tower. They're going to rotate over to mid where their Medusa's already pushing. They'll run into Boxy. This is a really big kill. They can get it, and should be able to as well with the Ice Blast, making it so Boxy just gets bursted down so quickly. Now they can try and head into mid, see if they can get some damage there, or they're going to try and defend their tier 2 at top. We'll have to see. His Alliance is just going to keep marching down the lane with the Exorcism. Still plenty of time there.
From eHome. It again is that thing where they go for those kills as like 3.
Yeah.
But it's just a one-off kill on a Bat Rider. He's got pretty good net worth, but you lost a tier 1 tower.
Do you think they could have defended top?
I think if you just plant your Tidehunter there and you have your Dusa now ready to TP with their ulti, I think now it's okay. The previous time I wasn't okay with it because she didn't have ulti and she didn't really have anything, but she completed her Yasha.
Yeah, I could kind of see that. I can kind of see eHome's point as well that Tidehunters had such a bad game that that like when you've had a bad game as Tidehunter and sometimes you stand in front of towers, you just get bursted down and like maybe you do Ravage, but
that's true too.
It feels like it's ineffective. Seems like they want to wait for the Blink Dagger timing. Faith Beyond is trying to rush right now. Boxy.
And they need a way to get on top of this this DP plus the other heroes. Yeah. I think it's a very good item pick up this game to go first. Because oftentimes you see like the Greaves and the Mech, but I think he sort of realizes his place in the game. It's like, I'm actually really far behind.
Yeah.
I'm not near normal items.
He just needs to set up for the Ice Blast, right? And that'll help counter so much of Juggernaut, Death Prophet. I mean, that's a classic duo. Even before there were certain skill changes, Exorcism plus Healing Ward was just a go-to combo. So if he can actually get the setup there for the Ice Blast to go in.
Especially on the DP. Like, that should be enough damage to just blow her up straight up with the Gush on top of that, too. Which is why Quakefa is deciding to go for the Yules instead of... We often see... It's usually just the choice now. It's a 50-50 whether you go for the Yules or going for the Aghanims. And just from a survivability standpoint.
Ice Blast coming in. There is going to be that Magic Immunity saving Taiga and actually managing to get a 3-man fish right into the Echo Slam. That's going to be the Ancient Apparition dead. Boxy trying to go for Ferrari 430, but he already activated that Stone Gaze. Instead, they're going to turn towards Neverend, who still has his reincarnation. Now Faith Beyond's here, and he does have the Ravage. It's not onto the Juggernaut. They do have the follow-up. Look at that tiny toss as well with the double damage hits. It's not quite enough, though. Koifa pushes back eHome. They blew everything they had. And Chain Stun did pretty well, too, with the Tiny Toss being able to get the third stun in, but it still wasn't enough. Instead of killing the Juggernaut, they fail to get that kill. He goes back to farming. They lose Faith Beyond.
Oh, that was almost really bad.
Oh, man.
They just didn't have enough damage as Mickey spun out with like 100.
Yeah.
They didn't really have any way to follow up as Taiga. He's trying to trap out, and instead...
And will be able to... Boxy?
I think Boxy's dead.
Boxy is... Oh, he managed to get out the last kick of the Avalanche, but is going to be tossed forward a little bit more damage. He actually goes for the lasso to stop the damage from Innocence. It's still not enough.
The good news is they did pick up a bounty rune, which does mean that Taiga now has his Blink Dagger.
Okay.
He's played very well on the Surf Shaker, by the way.
Oh, I mean, he's a 4 position that has a Blink before the tied 3 position has gotten his. And as we said, Faith Beyond is trying to rush it.
Faith Beyond's had a rough life.
Faith Beyond is... Yeah.
This has been a rough game. Especially when that top situation happened, and then when he died in mid or bottom, and then he had to walk down. He's had to walk half his time his bottom lane.
They're gonna jump in. Fisher out, controlling Jin Q, just stay on top of him, and they are gonna look for more. You're right, they're just chasing out. Good play by Mickey to find the extra kill on Innocence.
He put it on, Insania put the Purge on the Jug.
Yeah,
he didn't have vision.
Down.
Yeah. And it's a nice combo, especially with the drums phase.
Oh, he's going Maelstrom instead on Mickey.
Okay. I would have thought he'd really like the Diffusal. It works against both heroes.
Yeah.
It's nice against the Wraith King and the Dusa.
Yeah, when you're ahead like this, I feel like super good. If you're behind for some reason, of course, don't go for it.
It works for like all 3.
It's good versus Tide too.
Yeah, because Tide's got. I mean, this is a Tide that's got 447 mana. He's not, dude. He can't commit to Arcane Boots either. That'd be the best reason why.
Yeah.
As well, because he decided to go for the phase. This is the Vlad Solar Crest build that he's going for instead. And they might even just go high ground here.
Yeah, just go for it. You got the Healing Ward out. You know they don't have Ravage for a little bit longer, so...
They're going to pop the Glyph, and people are going to start TPing in. They need the Dusa in front.
Ice Blast heading in. That'll help make it out. They actually do manage to catch Taiga, so if they can get that kill and then quickly go back to defending bottom... Oh, they just got hardcore debated. Well, that was awkward. That was, What did they think the Medusa was doing? That was a Medusa illusion, right?
Oh, they might even go top lane, Mickey.
Oh, they really stuck it out, huh? They didn't expect that one. The Ravage follow-up. This time, no, there is not going to be an opportunity to kill Mickey because Insania was there. Stopped all the magic damage with the Fate's Edict, and now Jin Q. Ooh, Insania. That was a sick read by him because I thought that was a sick move by eHome.
I thought it was too, and I mean, eHome thought they had a free kill. That's the second time they try to go on this Jug with this, like, low percentage play.
Yeah.
I actually thought that was really well set up by them.
Yeah, like, you're pushing in Tier 3. You're expecting eHome will go back and defend.
Yeah, that was just that was a great read by eHome, but an even better one by Alliance. That's how you think about a move like that. Like, yeah. I don't hate on either team for that.
Right.
I think it was a high execution play that didn't go their way, but I'm not sad that they made it.
Well, with this Maelstrom build, it will mean Mickey has a farming item that he will be able to hopefully stay ahead of this Medusa, who has closed in. I remember there was a time where he was like 2,000 net worth ahead. They do manage to find him, but they had no way to stop it.
Yeah. I thought he had bad ulti, but of course he did use it to pick up.
Well, they do kind of have to worry about this Medusa, who is now 9,000 net worth. Alliance is not ahead by much. It's 17-9, and only up by 1,000 net worth. You could see Medusa's just played out mid, played out that triangle of farm over and over again, and I feel like that's the big push that you always have to make. As a team playing against Medusa is getting control of that triangle.
Part of the problem with Alliance right now is that Koikva has had to sacrifice a lot of his game by just going for the
Taiga again. And this is right at a time that Alliance were looking to be able to take Roshan, but they got stopped by the Ice Blast. So this is an exorcism wasted, and Taiga is now dead for 20 seconds.
Yeah, Koikva has largely been the rotator for his team, which has meant that, they've picked up some towers, but his overall net worth has suffered as a result, and the Wraith King who's decided to go for the greedier Midas build. And it's now eHome flipping their play from game 1 completely with Alliance, because it's Alliance that are actually going for the 5-man. Yeah. And eHome with their Midases and Blinks, they're just sort of splitting the map nonstop. So we're seeing a complete 180.
I thought seeing this draft that eHome was going to play similar to game 1.
Yeah.
where they were going to do a lot of 5-manning around their Medusa and Tide Hunter.
Nah, this time I think they've adapted.
Yeah. Just don't let Alliance outfarm you.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the lesson we've learned?
Yeah, Alliance really like to play these mid-game lineups. Like, that is their bread and butter. So if you can avoid that, kind of frustrate them, force them to make these maneuvers, I think, as a team, like, you just slightly outgreed them.
Gonna be able to grab the fast kill onto Y. As they tried to TP onto the shrine and go for some bounty runes, but bounty runes still being split evenly, 2 for 2. Boxy trying to recover some farm, and Sania once again trying to make the read of where Ehome's going to go for a kill and where he can be to defend against that. It's not actually correct this time, though. Ehome have backed up, playing their side of the map. A Desolator complete for the Wraith King. So that means like a lot of split pushing power if you can get the skeletons out on a tower with the Desolator. He is actually going to go for the solo kill on the Taiga. Now, he does have an Echo Slam if he really needs it, but looks like he should be okay. As kind of expected, a solo kill is not really going to happen for a Wraith King.
He was close-ish. He had like 3 crits in a row, maybe? Who knows?
Just magically. Only critical strikes.
Bang, bang.
Another Blink Dagger for Ehome. Another source of initiation as Jin Q completes his. And so they now have multiple heroes. 3 different Blink Daggers, all to be able to jump in, set up these Ice Blasts. Try and win the initial part of the engagement and then fall back on the Medusa's damage over time.
The Aghanim's now pretty much complete by Quakefa. Yes.
That's it's pretty big. Both for it's a good farming upgrade. Great for team fights, just based off of stats. The sustain offered by these little ghosts coming out whenever you throw a Crypt Swarm and hit multiple heroes. 3-man smoke up, though, from Ehome. They feel like they've got really good execution with their multiple Blink Daggers, their heavy amount of burst damage that can come out from a tiny, plus this Desolator Wraith King, but the smokes are going to run into each other. Who's going to make the jump first? It's going to be Boxy, who managed to grab Innocence. No Ice Blast here if they can actually get the silence, which they do from Koifa. Blow up. Oh, the Ravage goes down. Is Innocence going to last long enough? He can throw off the Ice Blast, throws it, but he misses. Okay, he kind of caught Koifa. He's still getting a little damage, but Ehome couldn't really follow up on that one. They traded Boxy for Innocence so far, but it looks like Jin Q is going to be caught as well. Does a lot of damage to Mickey. And they're going to turn, maybe? Oh, never end. He tried to get it there, missed the stun, doesn't really get a big crit out either, and it looks like that's going to be his first reincarnation. Second life. Faith Beyond, can he do anything to save him? I don't think so. They're just going to yield him up in the air, surround him.
He went so hard in for Mickey, and the crazy part is he almost got him.
I mean, he almost got him, yes. But at the same time, Insania was always ready to go with his ult. So I feel like it was just
it was kind of a low percentage play.
Low percentage play. He would have to surprise crit the shit out of Mickey. And
Insania would have to
be slow.
Oh, the Ice Blast coming over the top again. This time, though, I don't know if Alliance is going to be very deterred from finishing this up. There's still 80 seconds on their Tidehunter Ravage. And this is the downside of when you're tied so under farm like this, is he can't frontline for you. He doesn't really have farm. He really just becomes a Ravage machine.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to go for this build instead of things for like the Greaves.
Yeah.
You have to just beef up your Medusa. Your own game, I think, at this point has been so ruined.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it is turning into a good game. Like, feels like we keep on watching Alliance and like, oh, look at this Alliance making all these cool plays and winning fights. It's still only 1,000 net worth up. And we now have an Eye of Scotty for Medusa.
I mean, 430 has just been, he's like, guys, you can take all these terrible fights. Like, I'm going to hit creeps.
He's channeling his days of 2012.
I
What's
like that?
I need to carry my team, yeah.
I like that he hasn't like hard committed to any fights. He hasn't put himself in a position where he can just get jumped on.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes it's one of those things where it's like you commit to a fight, your entire team commits, but it's a losing endeavor, and Alliance's lineup will chase you down. Mm-hmm. That is something that their lineup does so well. And so Ferrari 430 has just decided, I'm splitting up. If a fight looks bad, I'm out. Like, you guys are on your own. When Neverend went in, he was like, that is definitely a you thing.
Throws out a couple skeletons, see if he can get some damage on the tier 2 for free. Alliance, though, we're already in position.
I do like his build, by the way, on this Wraith King. I think that Neverend is gone for this build, and it'll take towers really quickly.
Yeah.
Plus the skeletons. He didn't opt for the skeleton damage talent, which I actually am
Disappointed.
I think I'm going really fond of.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Me too. Especially in this game where you're trying to actually play a bit more of a split push, but
I'm not a big fan of the 2x skeleton spawn one, unless it's one of those games where no one has
any AoE clear.
Or if they have mana drain.
Yeah, no mana drain whatsoever.
I mean, if I saw that, the problem is, like, if I saw that and I'm Juggernaut, like, I would just hard switch to a Diffusal.
Just look at the way that eHome's playing this bottom lane and just chilling out in the trees. Pop out again. You know, they're just trying to constantly, if they can, force Alliance down to this lane because it's the farthest possible position that Alliance could be away from the Dire base and away from where the rest of the eHome cores wants to farm.
I mean, they don't want them to use this Aegis, and if they do, they want to make it a trade.
Yeah.
And that might actually be what happens as their posture towards bottom. Neverend's going to pop the Skellies.
Few more Skelly boys out. Trying to push him in, but this time it looks like Taiga is going to spring the trap, catch out Jin Q. And maybe he's going to get caught. Neverend's going to go for this kill. They do have the Tidehunter on his way, and Sania throws out that false promise, and looks like we are going to heal that Earthshaker up to full. So, eHome managed to force some small rotations, but don't really trade Tier 2 for Tier 2.
That is an ideal situation for Alliance. They read that very well, because you could see what eHome was going for. They were trying to say, like, either you come back or we just trade.
Yeah.
And they're okay with trading because of the Aegis. And they know at this point they can't really fight. All eHome's trying to do right now is force the game later and later, get it into a position where the Dusa can get 6-slotted, where she matches up very well against these cores.
There's that Solar Crest going to work on the Medusa. Finally, they are going to commit more heavily for this Tier 2, but Alliance, they're going to say, okay, fine, you can have that now because we're going to take
now it's a 2-for-1 trade. Yeah. And the mid-tier 2 is obviously just, when it comes to like how much more controls on the map, it's just more valuable. And it's harder to take because of the angle that you can come down on from the shrine.
Yeah.
So being able to take that tower... You take out all the Tier 2s now, you should get full map control out of this.
Yeah, once you take the Tier 2 bottom and mid away from Dire side, there goes that triangle.
Yeah, the triangle
it's so hard
becomes...
to control at that point.
Because you don't know where their ward vision is. And
Yeah.
It becomes just so much scarier.
You could see, like, eHome have massively de-warded that triangle area. It's costing them 3 different sentries to throw around just to try and make sure there's no high ground vision. Because of all that lost map control, these early towers.
Of course, there is some upside here for them is... Because they took the Tier 2, they can just farm out Alliance's jungle.
Yeah. And that's...
what Alliance should do then is they smoke into their own jungle. The downside of this fight is they don't have vision. They're sort of doing this blind.
Yeah.
But they're connecting to their core that has Aegis right now.
Oh, they're going to try and blow up. Oh, they may be able to get him. Okay, there goes that Aegis.
Now get out.
Full retreat from eHome. This will ruin the smoke, and Elias Box, he can get there in time, and he does. Anti-grab Jin Q. Neverend. Look at him. He's like, I don't want to be a part of this fight. I'm just TPing away until a Fisher comes in to stop that TP. And this is what Alliance wanted out of this one. They baited Mickey very well. Blink out, not going to happen. Neverend couldn't get it in time. They catch 3. Very important they catch the Wraith King in that situation. And 430 does what, honestly, the only thing he can. He pushes out mid lane, tries to farm the other side of the map, and prepares for what is going to be an inevitable high ground push from Alliance at some point.
They should go for this. Even if they don't know it, the Wraith King doesn't have buyback, but forcing it at this point would be ideal.
Yeah. And, I mean, they know he doesn't have... his Reincarnation is only level 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they know that's on cooldown for a while.
So even if he did have buyback, this would be a really good situation for Alliance to try to do something with, and... So they go for the high ground attempt.
The Exorcism up too.
There is a
Didn't
glyph.
even realize they didn't have to blow that. They're going to blow the glyph now. 5 seconds for the Wraith King. So there's going to be a small window where Alliance can finish up this Tier 3, not have to worry about a team fight as the Ice Blast goes down. If they can reset off of this...
You saw what they were going for there. Their Tide was in position. They were trying to do like the instant. Because now he doesn't have Aegis on Jug.
But now with no Ice Blast, they can kind of go back in. Quite fun, going to be dispelled off of that purged away.
I think they'll just
Cold
back
feet.
and take the shrines.
Yeah.
This is a situation that's very precarious, especially against Dusa. You don't want to overcommit, and they don't have Exorcism up anyways. And And this might actually mean that eHome look for fight.
Yeah, but unless they get Innocence picked off first, they don't have the... Oh, he throws the Ravage down? I'm not sure if this is a fight they actually can take. Neverend goes in. They do have a very blocked off Quaver right now who needs the help of the Oracle. Now the Echo Slam on to 3. That's going to control up everyone. Ferrari 430 is totally out of mana. He just took so much damage from Mickey and Taiga's Earthshaker combined. He does have a buyback, but... This is going to be trouble for eHome as Innocence is going to die back now.
What an echo.
Fate Beyond is probably going to get caught now as he gets rooted out by Boxy. He was sitting on top of the shrine, healed up earlier, will be able to make it back to his base on time. Here comes those buybacks. It's going to be one out from the Medusa. And another one, or excuse me, that was from earlier. Innocence was the other buyback, but obviously he's still dead after his dieback for 45 seconds without the Ice Blast. They can't fight Alliance, and Alliance knows it. They're going to go for their bottom lane of Rax. Again, I don't think you need to get greedy. Just go back, take shrines. I mean, you're up by 9,000 net worth.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
There is no need to take any more risks.
You just go for the next Roche.
Yeah.
You own the entirety of the map. Use all of eHome, like use the majority of their buybacks too. Alliance are in a really good position right now to win this game.
I just strongly disagree with how that... The moment that Alliance gets the initiation and Faith Beyond isn't getting a... I'm ravaging, hitting Death Prophet, plus I'm getting the Oracle in the back line situation, you know?
Yeah.
And we're also not getting like the instant Ice Blast to blow up the Death Prophet or something like that. Like, I just disagree with that decision making, I guess, on the fly from Faith Beyond.
I mean, this Deuce actually died way too fast.
Yeah.
I didn't anticipate her to be that paper. I guess they're just that far behind. She doesn't really have backup from the rest of her team.
Yeah.
Like, never end... The point of Wraith King is that you're supposed to be so scary, right? With your first life. Mm-hmm. So that you don't even want to deal with the second one, but... they just kind of ignore him. He's supposed to... This build, I think, the idea behind it is to be able to deal with the Jug even when he's spinning.
Yeah.
But it requires like 3 more items. He needs a Basher.
If he had AC like 5 minutes ago, then maybe.
And he is going to commit to the no buyback, just all in for it.
Yeah, as he probably should.
Yeah, but there's a DD rune here.
No.
That is... The Roshan will spawn in 2 minutes. So that's the upside right now for eHome, is that there's no Roche to immediately take this with.
Yeah, the Alliance are... I'm not sure if they're going to feel comfortable going high ground again, right?
I mean, they might.
Would you? With Roshan, like, if you lose this fight, what if Roshan spawns right as you lose that fight? eHome takes that as well.
You could just wait for the Roshan, then... Because this is a bottle DD. Like, you can chill.
Yeah, I feel pretty strongly about that one. Just take the Roshan, learn from like Secret and stuff, and just secure the advantage more and more.
Yeah. So there's a minute left. Roshan comes up. You take Roshan, then you just go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea.
And at best, like, what's going to change from eHome? They're going to have Butterfly and AC. Those will be like the big differences in their power.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference.
Not really.
It's going to come down a lot more to execution for eHome and whether or not they can get the kind of initiation they need. They need to be able to stop this. They either need to get a fast enough kill that Oracle can't get there in time to be able to save him with the False Promise, or they need to be able to get to the back line and catch the Oracle with these stuns. Tiny needs to jump on top of them. They need to either, hit a core and hit the Oracle with the Ravage. Some sort of smoke wraparound, not one of those just run straight through. Because Alliance has done very well for themselves, and they did that in Game 1 as well. Their positioning of their heroes for team fights is always really good, where they always had their 2 frontliners. They always had Boxy in front. Mm-hmm. And what was the other core? Was it Sven or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sven. Mickey Sven. So it felt like eHome could never poke at the right heroes.
I think they're going to lose this game if they give up Roche.
Yeah. So for eHome, for them to win this game, they need to smoke out, go for it.
I think it's honestly like a really rough situation. Because if you smoke out and take a fight and you don't instantly blow up the Jug, he's got DD rune. And he's going to tear you to pieces.
Yeah.
Like, this DD rune, you don't even need it to secure the high ground because you'll secure the Roshan with it.
They also need, like, that magical perfect smoke timing.
Yeah.
Where they don't know if Roshan's up or not, but they just need to be able to smoke into the pit at the perfect time, and you can see it's not going to happen.
Yeah, there's just, even if they have an inkling of it, they have no ward vision anyways, so they would essentially just be playing blind. Now you give up the Aegis. There's a fully completed MKB now from the Jug.
Yeah. So
Like,
there
life
goes
just
that
gets
butterfly
harder and harder.
advantage. And Ferrari 430's like, well, this game is looking impossible to win. The only way I'm going to win is Divine Rapier.
I like it. I genuinely think that if he doesn't have the Rapier, I don't see a way that they can win the fight. It would have to be Alliance messing up like massively.
Yeah.
Insania's positioning on the map would have to be so bad that he has no chance to save.
Mm-hmm.
And you immediately burst like 2 heroes and turn it into a 3-on-5. That's the best way that I could see this going, is you have to get the backline, kill Insania.
All right, what about a, like, secret agent behind enemy lines kind of play where our Tiny just, like, goes deep and around, and his job is to hunt the Oracle, you know?
Okay, I like it. That,
It's like,
I mean, it sounds crazy if I'm honest, but I'm down.
he's Tom Cruise, you know? This is your mission.
If you choose to accept. Oh, they're going to pop it. Quakefish just going to walk into the high
Alright,
ground.
well.
He wants to use this Arcane Rune. And Jinkyu.
Oh, that wasn't the toss back they were hoping for.
Yo.
Well, I mean, that's a dead creep.
Bruh.
That creep is very dead.
That was the freest initiation I think Boxy's like ever had in his life.
He was like, wow.
That, okay.
You
That's just a
blinking to
gift.
me. Okay, all right.
He's like, that's new.
All right, now they're going to try and poke at the Death Prophet right now, but again, the Oracle's always in that back line, so they can't really fully commit. They lose their range racks. Did they lose, well, they lost their bottom racks as well from that creep wave push in.
Okay, so they lose effectively 2 racks. And yeah, they use the buyback on Jinkyu. They're going to pick up all these bounty runes too. They didn't even know were there. And because of the Arcane Rune, I mean, his ult's up in 40 again, and they can just make the play. I don't think the timing of this gets that much better for Alliance as time goes on. That is the upside for Ehome.
Yeah. So we just... Either Ehome just need to be able to hold out for a while, or they could go for a smoke while they know Exorcism is on cooldown. See if they can get some sort of fast pickoff.
It's up in 20 though. They're trying to go for the wraparound, thinking that Taiga might have been in this area being greedy, but this is actually disastrous. They need to go back now.
Mickey's like, well, what's going on? There's nobody inside the base. All right, guys, I'm just hitting melee barracks.
He's like, this isn't normal, but you know what? It's free.
It's free real estate. All right, there's the toss back that they wanted. They're immediately going to get lasso onto the Tiny.
He's
and
not
Mickey
buyback.
honestly just spun away so quickly. No buyback on Jinkyu means now 4 versus 5 for Ehome. And there was still that Aegis on Mickey, so it's not even like that first life is much of a problem. Mickey's taking a lot of damage, sure, but they can reset if they want, or
That's
they
all
can
the mana
commit to
down
this
on the
Melee
course.
Barracks, and he wants to commit with the Aghanim Scepter, and he's got it. We'll be able to finish it off.
He even pops the cheese because he's running a little bit low, and Insania pre-used the ulti, thinking that the Tidehunter was going to go in during that time. And 40 seconds left on the Tiny. They still have Aegis. Mickey's just going to run in here, force the issue.
Mickey can kind of chill here. Well, they're going to go for it. They only have 3 heroes here right now, so Neverend, this is a great opportunity for Ehome if they want to be able to go for the Ravage in the back line, trying to blow up the Oracle. They do manage to take the first life of the Juggernaut as well. See if they can get round 2 here. As he pops the Manta, there's going to be Santai, Seko Slam, cut out for Taiga, locking down the 2 cores. That's exactly what they needed. Here comes the buyback out from the Medusa with the second life of Neverend here. They can actually catch up to some of these heroes. Taiga being slowed down. Faith Beyond, he's telling his team right now, like, we got to catch somebody. But Ehome did not feel confident enough to be able to take that, so...
And that was one of their better opportunities they were going to get. No Omni Slash, no Echo Slam. But I think he realizes too, like, his team just doesn't have the items right now. Like, they don't have the items, they don't have the farm. Not really a whole lot that they can do to continue that chase. It's like, you're not killing Mickey. He's got 2,800 HP.
Yeah.
But the DP ult will eventually come back up in 40 seconds. That was the buyback on the Dusa, so got a lot further away from the Rapier.
An AC for Death Prophet next. So she's going to be super tanky against all that physical damage of the Wraith King and the Medusa. 32-12, 40-minute mark closing in. At least Neverend is close to his nullifier. I'm not entirely sure what a difference that's going to make, though. Mostly because there's still the save of the Oracle.
Yeah. That time around, though, you could see what a successful teamfight could potentially look like. It's getting on top of Insania.
Yeah. Got to be able to hit him with the Ravage. Bounty runes all around. 24,000 net worth lead. That's the other big thing about just securing your advantage. There's going to be opportunities, especially with the double power runes coming out. You're going to get a double damage at some point. It's going to spawn. And you can bottle that one up. Try to take the fight in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
That is how Dota works.
The rich get richer. Very bourgeois concept.
Time for a revolution.
So Mickey now has his Abyssal, I believe, that's coming to him. He is so stacked. He's going to pop the DD rune, run to top, connect to the rest of his team, and just be an absolute force.
There it is. The Abyssal. All right, well, eHome, paint the picture for me, Blitz. How do they defend this?
Get to the top, or get to the back line.
Get to the back line.
You have to get Insania. That is the only way you win the fight.
Be nice if they could catch the full back line, just be able to burst down the Batrider and Earthshaker as soon as possible.
You have to get the supports out of the fight as fast as possible. Because it's too chaotic, I think, fighting against this Earthshaker on top of that is Mickey just runs
starting
in.
off, just trying to get the stun out from the Wraith King. That means an Ice Blast is going to be wasted, and they find the opportunity with Shingu being cooled in. They manage to get a really good Ravage. Boxy pops BKB. He's going to be fine. And Stone Gaze does manage to lock in this Death Prophet right now, who is in a bit of trouble. They still have the Echo Sand, plus the Echo Sand. That's going to wipe out Tidehunter. First life of the Wraith King. Going to be coming back in soon, but not fast enough to be able to save them. Doing so now with a dieback in. That's just GG with the Omni Slash. The finishing touch from Mickey. Alliance will take game 3 and end up top of their group. Well done.
14-0-11 on this Juggernaut. He went completely untouched, but I think the real MVPs this game were the two top laners. Boxy and Taiga made it so that Faith Beyond could never have any sort of relevance in this game.
Yeah.
1-7-5 on this tie.
Did you see that?
What?
That was the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. Insania and Mickey just did this little back and forth, like, fist pumping thing. Oh, I want that in the replay, please, production. That was adorable. Longtime teammates, Mickey and Insania, managed to pull out a Game 3 win for Alliance, and a very well-controlled one. I like the fact that they didn't rush things too much, secure their advantage more and more, especially against a respectable opponent in eHome. I mean, eHome, we're talking about eHome, some of the interviews, the players were talking about, eHome is going to be one of the top teams that they have to worry about. It's them and Ninja's Pajamas are the two names that I heard the most of. So Alliance being able to prove that they are maybe the more significant threat by beating them here on stage and coming out top of their group. It's a good start for their run here at Starladder.
I did like the adjustment overall that eHome made in the series.
Yeah.
It just was a little bit too late. Plus, like, the idea that they had of the Tidehunter versus the Batrider, that was just disastrous.
Was a bad idea.
And the thing is, they've switched lanes so many times in the series that that was a conscious decision that they decided to make. That was okay.
Yeah, dude,
for them.
if eHome wasn't happy with that one, they would have run it around and around until Alliance finally quit.
No, they're like, actually, this is okay for us for once.
I'm just sitting there watching Faith Beyond going, this is fine. This fire literally just burning all around him. This is fine.
And they kept trying to make the same initiation onto the Juggernaut.
Juggernaut, yeah.
And it was like, are you really going to burst this guy before he gets spin off and before Insania gets his ulti off on him? I don't think that's going to happen. You can try for a third time with Ravage.
Especially with Insania, Insania was so consistent in his positioning as Oracle. He even made some really good reads, as we talked about that cool little play that eHome tried at top lane tier 2, completely countered by Insania's read on the game. And all around, Alliance, I mean, they've just been saying they've been getting better and better all the time. They prove it here at day 1 at Starladder. We'll see if the panel agrees as we wrap out this final day of Starladder.
esports, we are still at the beginning, and giving context to data is super complex. Technology and stats and insights can really help doing that.
Alliance is going to be the first team to be able to make it into the winner's side of the bracket. They've guaranteed that, but we're not done with groups yet. Before we actually talk about everything that we're going to see tomorrow, though, let's talk about how we did actually start to set this up in Group A. We got to take a look at every single team that's in this group so far, and we got a good look at all of them. We went to Game 3 in absolutely every series, so we got the maximum amount of eyeballs on these players. So, Nahas, before we really do start kind of wrapping up what happened in this game, is there anything in particular today that really does jump off the page to you? Any teams that you really do want to be looking out for throughout the duration of this tournament?
I just think it was critically important. We talked about all the pressure on Alliance coming into this tournament, the roster that's been together now for over a year. They've kind of been at sub-full strength for most of the season. They finally have all 5 of their players, and they need to get to Epicenter in order to earn their way to TI. It was critically important for them to hold serve today, and they did just that. Yeah,
they're going to be able to do just that. We're going to see it in Game 3 as well. And there was a long laundry list of things to look out for with Alliance, some problems that you guys had kind of put in some of the play, not necessarily seen today, just in general, and maybe in some of their earlier series as well. Is this laundry list something that you guys are going to be carrying into the future days, or does it seem like they have been able to answer some, mainly the not being able to close question mark? Have they been able to close that in your mind, or do you think that that is still going to be an issue?
Yeah, I think you hit the right point of problems they were able to answer. Being able to close, like, this was one of the cleanest finishes from Alliance that I've been able to see in a very long time. And not just this patch, not just today, but just in general. They were playing against a Medusa, and there is a lot of room for error against a Medusa, but they executed cleanly. Even Loda, like, every single time he was saying, like, now's the time to back, they were doing it. And so his spirit was channeled through. There are other issues, like predictability. Like Nahaz said at the end of the draft, this is very Alliance Dota. And they know how to play their own Dota, but the problem is I don't know what other types of Dota they know how to play. But whenever they get their hands on heroes that they know, they are going to win. I just need to see more versatility before I'm ready to give them more confidence in the upper bracket.
Well, I think, a couple of things, right? First of all, like, there's a reason that these teams are at a minor. I mean, when you talk about, especially this year at the minors, most of these teams have their flaws, right? And it's about doing what you do well and minimizing mistakes. And that's why I really like this draft. It was just, this Game 3 draft was incredibly stable. The win conditions are very simple. You know your players are comfortable on each of the individual heroes, and you need to be getting that first Aegis. You need to be using it to hit tier 3s. In this case, it happened just after the first Aegis expired. Be able to put pressure on that Medusa's shrine before she gets into that 4th item. And I think that if Ferrari had gotten one more item, Alliance probably would have lost. Yeah. But they had that tail end, and they also itemized very well. I like the early Mjolnir on Juggernaut in a game where they were lacking in some ways in magic damage. I like the Solar Crest as a 3rd item on Death Prophet to counteract the Medusa. I thought that they handled the details in this game very well, and that's what we talk about when it comes to ease of execution.
Now, Ehome definitely not going to be completely out of this one yet. We're still expecting a decent amount from them. Are there any big issues that you need to see resolved with them that we see throughout the day, Tsunami?
Was not thrilled with their itemization throughout the day. I remember in an earlier series, in their Amborghesa series, the Death Prophet did not build a Shiva. They did not have a Shivas on their team at any point, and it was against, I don't remember which hero, it may have been against a Terrorblade, but there was no Shivas at any point. This game, Wraith King built a Desolator, and Desolator is an item you would build on Wraith King if you're like, I need to win this game. It was not his responsibility to win the game. It's Medusa's responsibility to win the game. It's Wraith King's responsibility to keep Medusa in the game, and Desolator is not an item that enables her. Something like a Blink Dagger would have been far more effective. So itemization is my biggest issue with eHome right now.
I mean, where's Faith Beyond
Yeah.
in these? Like, this is a guy that as recently as 6 months ago, we were talking about as possibly being one of the top offlaners in the game. He looked like an incredibly dynamic player. He looked like a player that was going to carry this eHome team to serious TI contention. And we just haven't felt his presence in many of these games today. You know, you pick a Tidehunter into a Batrider for him. And in his defense, he actually, that gap between the Tidehunter and Batrider from the laning phase, it closed, if anything, throughout the game. But he was never in this position like we've seen from him on Darkseer, these unusual tiny builds that we talked about from earlier in the season. He was never in a position, he hasn't been in a position all day long to really take over these games from the offlane role.
So when you're looking at a minor and you have, you know, it's not going to be tomorrow, of course, we're going to be looking at Group B, but, you know, 2 days from now, 3 days from now, when you need to improve, how quickly can you fix some of these issues? As far as itemization goes, is that as simple as reviewing the VOD, actually sitting down with your coach and actually talking about, but feeling the presence of another player and making sure that everybody is working together in the right way and firing on all cylinders? Can you fix that in 2 days?
Yeah, I think it's certainly a lot easier when you have 5 veteran players and when you have one of the greatest strategic minds in Dota of all time as your coach. Like I don't know if Zhao 8 is as good as a coach as he was as a captain, but he knows some shit about Dota. And if a team at this event is going to be able to fix mistakes, it is probably him.
And I think that was, to their credit, another thing that was really brought up on the desk. Not just fixing mistakes, but in the same track, the idea of this is a team that's going to be able to adapt. This is a team that mid-series is going to figure out how you're trying to play Dota, and they're going to fit that mold and try to play against it. So does that also basically mirror what Nahaz is saying and go, okay, you're going to be able to fix problems?
Right. There's no deep systemic issues where I'm like, eHome are fundamentally flawed. You know, they came into this, Faith Beyond, his arm may be fixed, but his brain is still broken. It's just not working. He wasn't that big of a playmaker today. Right. I think that that's something that is... I mean, he hasn't played with the roster probably very much. He has been replaced. He's been substituted out. So I think that's something that will probably take a little bit more time. But the itemization thing, I think, is as simple as looking at the replays. And, I mean, they will be facing up against the winner of Amorgessa versus Winstrike. They already have a win versus Amorgessa. They saw a lot of game from Winstrike in their Alliance series. So I still favor them to move forward in this group.
That's one of those things with when you end up doing the double GSL, and this happens all the time. You have the condition here for eHome where they potentially only need to beat they can take a rematch and they can get through. There's obviously the sad side of it that everybody does tend to talk about. If you're on Vergesa and you lose to the same team twice, it's a pretty feels bad man moment.
Yes.
But for eHome, feels okay, man, and they'd be able to go through and still get that spot like they were trying to get a little bit earlier today. But this is only half of the picture, guys. We still haven't seen the other teams, the other 4 that are going to be making up the Group B. I'm definitely very excited for that. But we actually do start out tomorrow with that Vergesa versus Winstrike series. I actually didn't realize that either.
I think that might have been a slight tweak to the schedule to compensate for the fact that Mineski are arriving a little bit. I think Mineski are arriving at like noon tomorrow.
I'm all about compensating for stuff, so I'm okay with this little tweak in the schedule. We're gonna see.
What car do you drive, Rich?
I actually don't know how to drive. I have to compensate for a lot of things.
Whoa, then you're compensating the opposite direction, it seems.
I got a longboard with a motor on it. I'm just kidding. I do. It's sick. Goes real fast.
I'm frightened. All right.
Goes real fast. Thick wheels. Big wheels, gets you where you're going. But I think it's really exciting to actually talk about Group B, because Group B, I think everybody agrees, is probably the spicier of the groups.
Yeah, I think so.
More DPC contenders.
Well, it's interesting. More DPC contenders, but one team in NIP that on paper you could make a case for being the tournament favorite, but nobody knows how they're going to approach this event. Like, they are already in TI. They're the only team here that is. And you look at them going, what do they have to play for? But then you recognize it was at this point last year, Optic won this event last year and then went on to finish second at Birmingham and really established a lot of positive momentum going into TI. And you wonder if Peter is going to try to replicate that at this event this season.
As long as they're not too tired, because this has been a rough past couple of months. Peter has played the last minor, last major, and then major quals, minor quals. Yep. Now he's at this minor. That is a lot of Dota to be playing. And so you can get a little bit tired, you can get a little bit spent, but I have confidence that he will persevere.
Come on, I mean, if you made it through last DPC season, I
Yes.
think you could make it through
Sure.
this one, right?
Sure.
All right. Well, ultimately, you talk about rest. It's very important. We're going to be grabbing some rest here. It was a great first day. Tomorrow, we're going to actually get our first look at Group B after we get that first matchup between the losers from Group A. Very excited to see you all there tomorrow. It's going to be the same time, same place. We'll see you then.